to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with Austin Butler and him joining Heat 2. That would be awesome. Johnny Depp back for Pirates? I don't know. Venom 3. Is that going to be the last one? Will it be? And we got some more headlines from Cannes with Kevin Costner and Demi Moore. And of course, it's Monday, so we'll talk about the weekend's box office report, but we talk about the headline story right up off the bat. Deadpool and Wolverine tickets go on sale. Guys, Ryan Reynolds' account and other people have posted this up now. Ryan Reynolds on his YouTube channel with Hugh Jackman came out and did like a small little promo for it. It's just fun, guys. This is just fun stuff. And they're poking fun at each other, and then they give you like a small little clip of the fight on the beach kind of thing and say, tickets are on sales now. And then you get some, yeah. So we all are looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine. We think it's going to be a blast. So I went over to my theater listings to see if it's going to be Thursday. I think there's probably going to be like a fan showing maybe before, hopefully. But usually Thursday we get advanced preview screenings. We got some, the ones in the afternoon will probably, they're not going to sell out. Yeah, so there you go, the 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's still early, it's still more than a month away, guys. Let's take a look at the IMAX screenings for the primetime show, 7 p.m. The X's are all gone there. So yeah, it is selling out. But guys, I gotta be brutally honest here. Even though that it's selling out, I don't think I've been in a sold out theater since I have to go back. Like even Endgame had front row seating. Like I'm talking like down in the front, in the 3 rows that nobody wants to sit in. Like the last 2 rows were sort of filled in for Endgame, and that was probably the most capacity. Spider-Man 3, that one was pretty full. No Way Home, that was full. But movies these days, this is for Thursday night showings. On Friday, you're gonna get there's going to be like double the showings, so you're going to be able to see it every half an hour. So if you miss the 7 o'clock show, there's going to be a 7:30 show, and there's going to be an 8 o'clock show. And if you can't do that, then on Saturday there's going to be like 11 shows that you can pick from just at one theater. So you're going to be able to see it opening weekend. It's not something where the whole advanced ticket sales, unless you live in a big metropolitan area where there's not many theaters, that's when you need to buy these advanced screening tickets. But you know, I have access to 4 big theaters in the area, so if I don't get in at one, I can go to another. It's not that critical. I will probably buy my tickets like 2 or 3 weeks out just in case. Maybe. I don't even know if that, because this is in July. No. Yes, it's in July. Right? Yeah, so no, we're more than 2 months away. No. Guys, I won't even, I'll be back from the Yukon by then. So it's kind of like, that's when I'll come and buy my tickets. But I just want to gauge people's excitement. This helps measure how much people are anticipating this movie. Early ticket sales. In Canada, it's not that big of a deal, but as I said, if you live in a big metropolitan area, then it may be worthwhile to go out and buy some early tickets. Are you going to buy it? Let me know in the comments below. Argala says maximum effort. Our Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was last full theater. Really? For Ghostbusters, huh? Cineplex here, they never do these advanced screenings all that well. Like that was the Landmark site. I go to the Cineplex site, and the furthest out. Okay, so they got July 25th there. Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, so that must have just updated recently. So they got a 340 show in the AVX. That's probably going to be the one that I will go see. That the 341. Should I book it now? You got two bought already. I usually sit G3 or 4. And if it's going to be like really packed, then I'll sit right at the edge. I just prefer to have at least some breathing room. Even though this theater, the seats are nice, big enough. They're like this size of a seat, right? Like you don't have to worry about bumping into somebody. But hey, it is what it is. Early tickets. Okay. Whoops. That's a Superman. We don't need that yet. It's Monday, so let's talk about some of the weekend's box office numbers. If rallies to a decent start, The Strangers is a surprise hit. Yes, sadly, The Strangers is. Let's take a look at the top 5 for the weekend of May 17th to the 19th. If was number 1. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was number 2. Strangers, Chapter 1 was number 3. Number 4 was The Fall Guy. And number 5 was Challengers. So, If was projected around the 30 million mark on Friday, and well, I would say that that's 35 million is a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to struggle to get to 30 million. Now, I did go out and see it over the weekend, so my reviews are up on the channel right now, as well as a new segment that I'm starting, Best Part, Worst Part. It's just a small little short. I'm going to tell you what I thought was the best part of the movie, and then the worst part of the movie. It's just a quick little snapshot review. So, 35 million domestically, 24 internationally, for a worldwide total of 59 million on a $110 million budget. Guys, that's going to struggle, because next week it's going to run into Garfield and Furiosa opens up. So all the more older, mature audiences who are slightly curious about If will be going to see Furiosa instead. And then, of course, the kids, they will be wanting to see Garfield. It's dropped. It was 50% on the weekend. Now it's down to 49% by the critics, 87% by the audience. So the people that are going out to see it are liking it and having a more of appreciation for it than the critics. My analysis was that it was just a bit too long in the second act. And it needs to be said that Ryan Reynolds is not the main character of the movie, because I think some people think that he is, and it's not. Love this movie, sweet and endearing, says one of the fans. But it had its moments. It just was a bit too long, coming in at an hour and 44 minutes. If it was like an hour and a half, it would have been a lot tighter, I felt. Our Glass Viking says, I was the only person in the theater for Boy Kills World. Great private screening. No, that would have been a great one. Hey, I'm glad that you had fun with it too. Boy Kills World was just a fun little movie. Reckon I'll wait to stream If and Garfield. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Garfield, it is what it is. Let's take a look at the rest of the numbers here. So 35 million. It's going to run into some trouble, I think. And let's take a look at the second one. The Strangers, Chapter 1, 12 million domestically. No international numbers. And you would say, well, is this going to be a bomb then, James? Nobody liked this movie. 13% by critics, 43% by the audience. You know how much I criticized this film. It was a lazy script. It was just a complete rehash of the first movie, but made for like TV. It was like a made-for-TV version of The Strangers. It was that tame. You could show this at 7 p.m. on a Friday night on ABC and not have to edit anything out. Maybe the occasional swear word. But like, it's not gory. I don't know what they were smoking. So, 12 million, you would think, well, is it going to be good enough? It had an $8.5 million budget, so it's made its production budget back, plus marketing costs. It's going to have to probably make around 16 to 20 million to break even, and it's going to do that, sadly. which is going to send a mixed message to the studio heads, thinking, oh, we've made a success here. We've made something that people like. You look at the tomato score, no, it's not what people like. And if you just go by the numbers alone, you would say, oh, well, then let's go forward with chapter 2. The problem is that they shot all 3 of them back to back. So it's kind of like they've locked themselves into this story. I would immediately, like in the next week or so, cut a deal to put chapter 2 and 3 out on streaming. Like I would have chapter 2 come out on Amazon Prime or Netflix or whoever wants to pick it up in the next month, and try and hope that there's a good enough will from people to say, okay, I like the second part. You should probably go see the first one in the theater, just to make sure that you know what's going on. And as I had predicted, if you hadn't seen a horror movie before, then you'll probably like this movie. But if you've seen horror movies, and if you are a movie fan, then this is just this is garbage. This is junk. This is not of any repute. This is not worthy of your time. And it's definitely not worthy of owning it on 4K. I know Chris Schober would like to hear about this kind of stuff, but Walmart exclusive Steelbook, July 23rd. So just in time for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, guys, no. I have no interest. Like, even if you bought this for me as a gift, I'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this? I would take it to a pawn shop and try to get $5 for it. You know, maybe get a tall boy or something like that from the beer store. It's not even worthy to be used as S-cup coaster or paperweight. S-cup? Yeah. You guys know how I felt about The Strangers. I raked it over the coals over the weekend. So the Strangers trilogy is a big old cash grab. And the thing is that this is what we try to tell people to do. Take a recognizable IP, make something small and self-contained, but they just didn't. And it's going to have the same problems that Exorcist Believer did. And I'm glad that they changed course from what they were doing with the Exorcist franchise, bringing in Mike Flanagan. Thank you. But you can't do that now because Rennie Harlan directed chapter 2 and 3, right? Because you locked yourselves in. It's a disaster, I think. I would not expect the same kind of box office return for chapter 2. They're going to have to negotiate rough waters for chapter 2. Next, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes falls down to the second spot. And has now grossed a worldwide total of 237 on a budget of like around 140, right? Is that what I heard for it? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes budget was around 160, sorry. So 160 budget for Kingdom, 237. It's going to have to make around 300 to break even. Luckily, this is a film that's going to be able to, well, what is it? 3 weeks now? 3 weeks? It's going to be 3 weeks next week. Furiosa and Garfield are going to push everything down. So it'll probably fall down to the 4th spot. Strangers will fall out of the top 5 next week. And I think Back to Black will have some staying power in there. Maybe Fall Guy. No, Fall Guy will be in number 5. So it'll probably go Furiosa, Garfield, if Kingdom of the... No, actually, I don't know if will hang in there. I think it'll go Furiosa, Garfield, Kingdom, if, and then Fall Guy next week. Because in the States, we had a 3-day weekend this weekend, and in the States, they've got a 4-day weekend this coming weekend. So Furiosa will have a big box office return. But good for Kingdom. It'll have another couple of weeks here of getting in the top 5. The other new release was Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic. Grossed 2.8 domestically, 36 internationally, for a worldwide total of 39.4 million. Wow. On a budget of around 22.7. So it's almost made its like break-even point. 22 million. It's almost 40 million. I didn't think it would do that. Seeing that it was getting raked, it was just lambasted by the critics. 35%. Oi, that score factored into me going out to see it, because I was like, I don't really want to go watch a bad movie right now, because I just watched Strangers Chapter 1. So I saw the TV Glow instead. 86% by the audience. So the audience seems to be liking it a bit more. Maybe tomorrow on Cheap Tuesday, Half Price Tuesday, for $7, I'll go see Back to Black. Yeah. So, not a bad haul for Back to Black. Tarot, The Blue Angels. What was the other one? I saw the TV Glow. This is the one I saw. A smaller art house film. 1.4 million. And it probably didn't have a big budget. Like, it probably only had like a $1.4 million budget, if that. Like, it wasn't that high. Drama, horror, yeah. Psychedelic thriller. Is psychedelic drama, yeah. It does a lot of abstract storytelling. It's not a straightforward narrative with an obscure ending that is for sure going to turn off the casual movie fan. They'll look at it and say, what is this? This is meant for artsy fartsy types, right? And then the artists people out there who like big swings and things with a little bit more flair, they look at it and say, they'll be like, this is my cup of tea. I didn't hate it. I also, I appreciated what they were trying to do with it. My review's up on the channel for that one. What's next? Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Now, Babes was the other one that got 12 theaters. The plot's under wraps. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. I was like, maybe I shouldn't Google that one. Because I don't want to get plot under wraps. It's not under wraps. I say, what? It's not under wraps. What are you doing? Pregnant from a one-night stand, Eden leans on her best friend and mother of two, Dawn, to guide her through gestation and beyond. Okay, so it's about actually having a baby. Meh. Not my cup of tea, but it's for some, so that's probably going to have wider releases in weeks to come. Where are we at? 19 minutes. Con. It's got to be wrapping up soon, right? Because it started last week. But we got some more headlines from Con 2024. Demi Moore on full frontal nudity with Margaret Qualley in The Substance. A very vulnerable experience, but I had a great partner who I felt very safe with. Wow. We do know that Demi Moore has positive body image. Like, she was not ashamed of showing her body in movies. What was that dancing one that she did? Oh no, it's George Bush. What was that movie? I also had Burt Reynolds that covered himself up in Vaseline. I can't remember what that one was. It wasn't Showgirls. I can't remember. We'll pull it up in just a minute. But this movie's called The Substance. So, now this is the one that we reported that got picked up by Mubi because nobody wanted to pick it up. Has Dennis Quaid in it. Margaret Qualley She's a good actress. She was like the best part of Drive Away Dolls, in my opinion. Uh, she was in Drive Away Dolls, right? Yes. Kinds of Kindness. We were going to see her in next, the Yorgos Lanthimos movie, and she's going to be in Substance, Huntington and Honey Don't. She's the daughter of Striptease, Art says. Okay, yes, thanks. Yeah. Andy McDowell? Yeah, it's Andy McDowell, right? She's the daughter of Andy McDowell, I think. Good actress. She's got range. Yeah, Andy McDowell is her mother. Good actress. So she's going to be in this movie with Demi Moore, where I guess there's going to be some nudity scenes. And Dennis Quaid's in this. The movie, it says, it doesn't have a plot. What? No, it's got to have a plot. But it's received an 11-minute standing ovation. There are some sort of trailers out there. Explosive feminist take on body horror. The film has had its premiere at Cannes, where they talked about frontal nudity. Yeah, I'll talk about those reviews in just a sec, but I'm looking for some kind of a synopsis headline here. Okay, so Moore plays a fading celebrity who uses a black market drug the film is named for. A cell-replicating device that winds up creating a young, better version of herself, Margaret Qualley. Not only must she share space with the new creature, she has to spend half of her time in a dormant state so the other can thrive. In an early scene when Qualley is birthed, so to speak, Moore spends a long time studying her nude body before pulling the trigger on the drug. Oh, so it's very Cronenbergian by the sounds of it. Moore spends a long time studying her nude body. When Qualley emerges, she too marvels at her supple new skin suit. It's a stark but perhaps necessary display of a full frontal of both. Okay. So, as I said, there are a few teasers out there that don't really show any, like they can't show any nudity in the teasers. But Demi Moore, you know, she's championed positive body image in the past, so it's kind of like, I kind of like her taking a shot at abstract storytelling. But now that you get those that synopsis of it being kind of like Cronenberg style, that shot that we get of her skin suit kind of thing makes a lot more sense. So some of the snapshot reviews are saying, I can't get off my head the substance. It's an absolute brilliant and well-directed movie. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley at their bests. Unbelievable that this movie is actually in competition. Unforgettable session tonight. Probably my Palme d'Or so far. Okay, so that's French. I can't read that. My friend looked at me during the big New York moment of the substance and said, I was like a kid at Disneyland smiling like it was my birthday. That also tells you how much I'm a sicko. Best film by far at Cannes. What, because of the frontal nudity? Some people are like that, though. They just see it and they're like, it's a nude body. Have you not Googled it before? So fun to share smart, witty body horror flick, The Substance, with a big audience at Cannes. It's gross and incisively feminist, and both Demi Moore and current Margaret Qualley are terrific. Mubi picked it up worldwide and should do well with it. Audiences will spread good word. Well, it's piqued my curiosity now. This is why we take a look at the headlines from Cannes. And I'm looking forward to like the duality here. If she's playing like a younger version of her, that's the payoff that I want to see. The nudity stuff, it is what it is. The Substance is rife with metaphors about women in Hollywood and the consequences of self-hatred. Whoops. Covered in blood, ripped out teeth, peeled off fingernails. Ooh. The most grotesque prosthetics in recent memory. The movie's not for the faint of heart. Well, prosthetics, huh? Cool. So this movie's going to go to some really weird places. Oh, we just read the premise. So Joe Below's got a bunch of those quotes organized. If you're curious to hear more about this, once movie gets a release date a little bit more confirmed, or if it's going to be on the streaming, movies streaming, right? I'll have to add it to my list now. Yeah, Movies Production Company. Watch and Discover Movies. Founded in 2007. So you have to create an account? Yeah, but what I want to browse. What's offered on there? Looks like a lot of indie films, right? Okay. Seven Samurai, Apocalypse Now, 2001. So maybe this is more for the art house crowd. So I would expect to see, maybe I saw the TV Glow on Mubi as well. Fascinating. All right, let's continue on with Kevin Costner at Cannes. This is all over the trades as well. Kevin Costner can't hold back tears as his Western epic Horizon earns 7-minute standing ovation, promises 3 more installments. Well, I do like Kevin Costner, but he's not getting the best reputations right now behind the scenes with him wanting to produce and star and everything that he seems to be attached to. His involvement with Yellowstone really kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And then he cut out, he was going to make like another Western, or was it this the Western that was going to be like Henry Cavill was going to be it, but then he said, step aside, Henry, I'm going to do it myself. Yeah, you'll have your time. Yeah, that's what he says, stuff like that. He's a good actor. He's a good director. So, whatever. So again, Horizon, an American saga. I just imagined as 3 parts. At least they didn't film all 3 parts. Okay, so he said, "I'm sorry that you had to clap for that long. To me, for me to understand that I should speak. Such good people, such a good moment, not just for me, but the actors that came with me, for people who believed in me, who continued to work. It's a funny business, and I'm so glad I found it. There's no place like here. I'll never forget this, either will my children." American Saga, Chapter 1. Sprawling, thinly spread, the first part of Kevin Costner's Western epic feels more like a setup for further installments. Oi, that's not good. See, I hate that. It's good to have an idea of where you want to go with your trilogy, but don't hold anything back. I know you feel like you should. I don't know. He's made good westerns in the past. Everybody likes Unforgiven. He was in Unforgiven, wasn't he? No, that was Clint Eastwood. James. Well, Dances with Wolves he made. What was the other one? Open Range. He was really good in that. Next, Johnny Depp. Back for Pirates? No, we're talking about Venom 3, James. Venom 3 gets disappointing update from Sony chairman. Tom Rothman has revealed details about Venom, saying The Last Dance will be the last Venom movie. Venom The Last Dance will be the final installment in the symbiote trilogy, bringing the end to Eddie Brock's story with Venom. Despite mixed reviews, both Venom movies were big hits at the box office. I wouldn't say that. Uh, I would have to dispute that Venom, Let There Be Carnage was made 500 million. I don't really call that a huge smash success, though. But it is going to be the final Venom movie set for 2024. This one. Tom Hardy coming back. And it's weird that we haven't really gotten much about this. It's done, from what I understand. Like, Tom Hardy's not shooting it anymore. Like, we haven't got production photos. He's just gonna find another symbiote, and that's about it. He's gonna defeat the last symbiote, and they're either gonna separate from each other, and the symbiote's gonna go back to the MCU, or something weird like that's gonna happen. I think that's all that needs to be said. Do we need to go see a movie about that? Well, they made it, so I do like Venom as a good character, but this should put any debate if we're gonna see Tom Hardy's Venom ever face off against Spider-Man. Then the answer to that is no, we are not. We will never see Tom Hardy's Venom face off against Spider-Man, except for maybe in Avengers Secret Wars. He'll come in as a cameo, but we're never going to see a movie with specifically him as Venom as the main antagonist to Spider-Man. They're going to have to reboot Venom for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, or they're going to have to eventually make Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 3 with Venom. Give us that, please. Please, that's what I want to see. Sony, get your act together over there, man. The third and last Venom movie is going to be huge. Well, to that I am a little bit dubious. Comes out this October, and we haven't heard a thing. We've heard more about Kraven the Hunter than we've heard about Venom. Like, most people forget about this completely when they're putting it on when they're making their most anticipated lists of the year. So it'll probably help to be rip-roaring drunk when watching The Substance. Yeah, that one sounds like it's going to be funky. Like, it sounds shades of... If you didn't like David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future, then you probably... Like, it sounds like that same ilk. Hourglass Vikings, to be fair, I reckon Kevin Costner is more convincing as a man who's lived in the Wild West, weathered and worn. Well, yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a good actor, and he's a good storyteller. I do like his... And I'm a defender of Waterworld. The Postman, not so much. But he's good in other things. He totally is. Tin Cup. It's got to be one of the best golfing movies of all time. Johnny Depp in Pirates. Let's get to that story. Johnny Depp will return as Jack Sparrow if Pirates of the Caribbean producer gets his way. So Bruckheimer is in talks. He's had talks with Johnny Depp about returning for more Pirates adventures. Well, guys, are you ready for Johnny Depp to come back as for Pirates? Because they were wanting to do a female Pirates movie that's still going to be coming out. There's going to be like 2 female Pirates movies coming out. And then they were going to scrap one of them and put together a reimagining of the Pirates movies altogether. Just don't make them 3 hours, for God's sakes. Jerry Bruckheimer wants Johnny Depp back as Jack Sparrow. Okay, so if Bruckheimer, the guy with the cash, wants it, we'll see. Legal issues have affected Depp's career, but he may return. Pirates of Caribbean franchise is getting a reboot. Yeah. So, Johnny Depp, Bruckheimer gets his way. Speaking with Entertainment Tonight, Bruckheimer said this, quote, If it was up to me, of course, I love having Depp. He's a great actor and a good friend. I've certainly spoke to him, but we'll see what happens. Well, you're the one producing it. Are you saying you can't coerce some of your other executive producers to fund another Pirates movie with Johnny? I know that there's still some people that are wanting to put him in the penalty box because of his bad divorce. But I think all of those matters have been settled. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just time to totally just reboot it and get rid of him altogether. But he's the big draw. People go to see it because of him and the Sparrow character, right? Um, I don't know. So producer wants him back. I don't think it'll happen, but we'll see. Austin Butler in Heat 2. What? Austin Butler addresses the rumor that he will play Val Kilmer's role in Michael Mann's sequel to Heat. So Heat 2 is a book, and it came out already. And it's about events before and after Heat. So there's like younger versions of the characters. So we know that they can't bring back Val Kilmer in any capacity because he's got his voice thing out, unless they work that into the script like they did for Top Gun Maverick. But playing the younger version of him, Austin Butler, I could see that. Because there were talks about maybe Adam Driver playing the younger Robert De Niro character. That would be a good pairing. Adam Driver, Austin Butler, Heat 2. I'd be on board for that. So what did he say, though? So he was asked recently in Total Film's new issue while he was talking about Dune. He says, quote, "Yeah, I mean, I love the first film, but no comment on that. We're going to see Austin Butler next in Bike Riders coming out next month, guys. I like the Heat movie. I think it's one of the best cops and robbers movies ever made. I don't know if a prequel sequel mashup will work exactly. Because basically, Val Kilmer's character, sorry, spoiler alert for something that's 30 years old, his character was the only one that survived of the bad guys. We know that Neil McCauley survived. Or sorry, not, we know Vincent Hanna, the cop that was after him, survived, played by Al Pacino. And you could have an older Pacino play him still. But, like, you could bookend it that way. Like, Pacino talks about one of his greatest cases, and that being Heat, taking down the McCauley crew. There's something there that could be done. I'll have to see. Michael Mann has had some troubles, though. Ferrari didn't land so well with a lot of people. I really like Ferrari. And Ferrari's one that I would own Ferrari on 4K or Blu-ray if Chris Schober were here. Maybe I'd ask him if that was available yet. I'd have no shame. I would not be embarrassed at all to say that I would have that in my catalog. Because Adam Driver was good in it. Penelope Cruz stole the show. I really would like to watch that movie with you guys. Shailene Woodley, you know how I feel about her. She's awesome. One of my favorite actresses. What do you guys think? Austin Butler in Heat 2? It would work for me. Arglass says Austin Butler is good casting for young Val. Yeah, there's something... I don't know. It's like their faces don't look alike, but there's something in the demeanor, right? In the vibe that they give off, kind of thing. That's very similar. It's hard to articulate, isn't it? Both good actors. Very good actors. What's next? MaXXXine. MaXXXine is just around the corner, guys. And they have a new poster out. MaXXXine poster warns Hollywood is a killer. A rated R comes out July 5th, so I'll be in the Yukon when that comes out. I'll probably have to see it when I come back because the theater up there only has two cinemas, like two actual theaters, and they're very small. I'm gonna go to it, and I'm gonna have a picture of myself in the theater there. I'll post it on my Instagram while I'm there. Let's see if I can blow up that poster just a bit. Mia Goth, Hollywood is a Killer, MaXXXine, July 5th. X and Pearl, a good 1-2 punch for horror. Like, that was really good. And a lot of it had to do with Mia Goth's performance, the way she's able to transform, especially in Pearl, where it's like she's innocent, and then she's doing weird stuff with the scarecrow, and you're like, yeah. And then that audition sequence. Oh my. Yeah. I really like Pearl, and I'm really looking forward to MaXXXine wrapping this up. And the cast for MaXXXine is fantastic. Lily Collins, Michelle Moynihan, Kevin Bacon, and Elizabeth Debicki. I'm really looking forward to Elizabeth Debicki in this. So she goes to Hollywood to try to become a star, and then there's like some other killer out there, I guess, that attacks one of the productions that she's on or something, and she gets caught up in that. Of course, then, she's dealt with murderers in the past. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. I'm looking forward to that. Any comments? No comments. Good poster, though. Brad Pitt is going to be making a Formula One movie, and he's had to train for months. And everything about this seems awesome. We like Formula One here. We just watched Ferrari. We just talked about it too. But this Joseph Kosinski movie, on the surface, he devoted months to training. It seems like okay, I want to check out this movie because I like big racing movies on the big screen. Unfortunately, this movie's budget has skyrocketed over $300 million, and I don't see how it's going to ever make that money back. So Bruckheimer gave some details on Brad Pitt's dedication to the Formula One movie, saying he trained for 4 or 5 months. He's an amazing driver. In fact, some of the F1 drivers said he is a natural athlete. He really is. He's amazing in that car. Now that I'm a little bit dubious of. I don't know if that's just puffery. Because I'm sure that, yes, he does take care of himself. I'm sure he dived into the role. But when you're actually out there with the real drivers and stuff like that, and they're taking the turns, and then they see a movie star doing it, do you really think they all say to each other, oh, he's a really good driver? I'm sure he's got the base fundamental talent that could be built up, perhaps. But anyway, I don't know why I'm throwing shade on that. I'm just dubious about that claim. Anyway, I can't tell you the insurance company will kill us. How fast he drove. Yeah. So, this movie, I said on the surface, seems like it's got all the right ingredients. The hijinks have cost a reported $300 million. While the budget hasn't been confirmed, if it holds, that would make it one of the most expensive movies ever made. So Pitt outlined, I would be a guy who raced in the 90s. He has a horrible crash and kind of craps out, disappears, and then is racing in other disciplines. Then his friend, played by Javier Bardem, the team owner, they're the last place team. They're 22nd on the grid, and they've never scored a point. And then they have a young phenom played by Damson Idris, and he brings me in as a kind of Hail Mary hijinks to ensue. So it's kind of like, well, that almost sounds exactly like, well, no, a little bit. I was going to say it's got shades of Top Gun Maverick, the veteran that has to come in and train a younger protege, but then ends up driving the course himself. But man, $300 million, guys, you're not getting that money back, because that would have to be 500, 600 million at the box office. It has to be mind-blowing. It has to be. And I want it to be, but past indicators say that it's probably not going to do that. All right. When is that movie coming out? There's still no release date for it. That's another issue. Like, I don't expect it this year. I expect it sometime next year. Hit or miss headlines. Let's go on to some hit or miss. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. Sandman Season 2 cast remaining endless siblings of Tom Sturridge's Dream, Delirium, Destiny, and Prodigal. And the Prodigal? Sandman Season 2 is underway, guys, filming. And I don't recognize, I think I recognize that guy in the middle. Maybe the guy on the right. Sandman, we've got some Season 2 news. Netflix's Endless Family, Tom Sturridge's Dream, Esme Creed Miles as Delirium, Adrian Lester as Destiny, and Barry Sloane as the Prodigal. Barry Sloane. Passkeeper, Penthouse North, Revenge, 6. Doesn't really ring a bell, that resume. Passenger, TV series. A lot of TV stuff, it seems. Okay, well, Sandman is a TV show. You guys, I never did a reaction to Sandman. I liked the second part of Sandman. After the diner episode. The diner episode was one of the... It stopped the momentum of that show dead in its tracks. Adrian Lester. That face looks familiar. Day After Tomorrow. Primary colors. So this guy's got a little bit more of a larger resume. Some TV stuff. And then Esme Creed Miles. But I like the design aesthetic of Sandman. So that's why I'm looking forward to Sandman 2 and see if they can continue on telling more story. Because I'm fascinated by the premise of somebody with godlike powers not wanting to help people kind of thing. Kind of being coerced at times to help people. I like that angle. This looks... She looks familiar there. Do Not Sleep. This actress does look familiar. The Doll Factory, Silver Haze. Hannah TV series. Okay. Dark River. Like for a second there, I thought she looked like the girl that played Wednesday's friend in Jenna Ortega's Wednesday series, but it's not the same actress. She's got the same eyes. No, that's not her. But okay, so she's going to be in Sandman Season 2. That was slated probably for next year, guys. All episodes of Season 2 will be directed by Jamie Childs. Jamie Childs. And normally that could be a good thing, but the same person directed all of Obi-Wan series, and look how that turned out. Hey! So they did 4 episodes of Season 1. Jamie Childs did. So he knows the property. Interesting. Keep our eye on that. Eddie Vedder calls Harrison Butker an effing P-word mid-concert over sexist speech. There's nothing more masculine than a strong man supporting a strong woman. Oh, okay. Guys, if you don't know, I am a Pearl Jam fan. I do like Eddie Vedder. Dark Matter album. It's got some good songs on there. In fact, a few of the songs are on my playlists. And the first playlist has Dark Matter. Second playlist is coming out. I've been fiddling around with it. The second one, part two, uh, I may wait a while to make that one a little bit more filled out because I want newer music to add on to it. That's the whole point of it. But anyway, good musician, epic. He'll go down in the Hall of Fame of rock and roll. This guy, who's this guy? Who is this H. Butler? He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, an NFL team, and he came out and said a speech the last week about women being subservient to their husbands and how he appreciates having a stay-at-home wife. Well, when you make millions and millions of dollars playing football, of course you can support a stay-at-home wife. But he also went on to say that perhaps all women should be like that. And then that's why you get responses like from Eddie Vedder saying, yeah, I don't agree with what you're saying. And you're allowed to do that, guys. You're allowed to disagree. And he's allowed to say those comments if he wants to. It bums me out because you know that anybody in his family, like what happens if his daughter says, I want to be the CEO of a company and not have a family? Will he look down on her for not doing that? I don't think so. He shouldn't, but his comments made it seem like he would, right? So that's why Eddie Vedder's calling that out. Not everybody needs to have a family. Not everybody needs to have offspring. That doesn't mean that you are not successful in life. A lot of people think, oh, I got married, I had a family. Good for you. Why do you think that that's a measure of success for everybody? Anyway, that's a weird rabbit hole. I just wanted to back up Eddie Vedder there. What's this? Brad Pitt's movie rumored to be out June 25th, 2025. Sorry, June 2025. Could be called Apex after the team he races for. Okay. I am curious about it. I do want to see it, but if it's out next June, you're going to be up against Jurassic World 5. Wait, that's not good. Next. Oh, is that it? Okay, that's it. Let's go over to the. There really wasn't that much in the headlines today. I didn't really have much to pull because it was kind of, well, other than Deadpool Wolverine. Okay, so the Sandman there. Maybe I'll cut out that story or do like a short for it or something. Tom Hanks asks his son Chet to explain the Kendrick Lamar Drake feud. Holy cow, those are fighting words. Yeah, guys, I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is either. And I thought about publishing a video last week of saying, I'm old man James. I have no idea who Kendrick Lamar is. This is the first time I'm looking up the story. I know who Drake is. And if they've got beefs, whatever. That's none of my business. But I have no idea who Kendrick Lamar is. Okay, so he's a rapper and songwriter. I couldn't tell you one song he's ever done. First look at Sean Baker's Anora, starring Mikey Madison. Cool. She was the one of the killers in Scream 5. And I did like her in that. New look at Sean Baker's Anora, Mikey Madison. And she's got talent. Wait for her. She's going to be big, I think. I hope so. And she was also one of the ranchers, I think, in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? Yeah. She was with Austin Butler at the end when I think she gets the dog food thrown at her and breaks her nose or something. Or is she the one that gets set on fire by Leo? I can't remember. Yeah, she's a good actress. I keep my eye on her career. Overview. I don't need to see her overview. I want to see her IMDb. There we go. What she got up on her slate? Honora, Lady in the Lake TV series. All Souls, Better Things. Good actress. New poster for MaXXXine. Yeah, we talked about that. Rosebush Pushking. Rosebush Pruning, sorry. Starring Kristen Stewart, Josh O'Connor, and Elle Fanning. Will begin filming this year. A dark satire. A young woman who plots the murders of his young man, plots the murders of his dysfunctional family. Well, I really like Kristen Stewart, and I still got to say that I think probably Love Lies Bleeding is still in my top 5 of the year, guys. Josh O'Connor. Why does that name sound familiar? Was he in Challengers? Yes. And I like Elle Fanning. Interesting. Joe Alwyn. Desperate Housewives. Meh. Nice Guys. Josh O'Connor. Oh, it's his birthday. That's why, huh? Emma Stone on Yorgos Lanthimos. Quote, I trust him beyond the trust I've ever had with any director. I've been lucky to work with great directors, but we just have something that I can't explain. I'm so grateful for it. Well, that's good when you find that good pairing. Hey, we've all seen it before, like Leo and Scorsese, right? And I would even say to some extent Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy. They seem to work together a lot, right? Hunter Schafer says Yorgos Lanthimos emailed and invited her to come to play for a day in Kinds of Kindness. She's also a good actress. Keep your eye on Hunter Schafer. Despite her getting arrested at some kind of protest, whatever. Don't pay attention to that stuff. She does have talent. She was an interesting performance in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Red Lobster declares bankruptcy. Yes. Red Lobster declares bankruptcy. Bummer. I guess that all-you-can-eat shrimp did them in. Then why did you do it? Why did you continue to do it? That stuff doesn't make sense to me. All right. What's next? They're gonna have to close some of their stores, but they'll be fine. Paul Mescal, Yorgos Lanthimos' next film, Bugonia, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, will begin filming this summer. So that's like the 3rd or 4th project that they've worked on together, right? Okay. Mike Faced on his next projects, going home and being a human. So he hasn't been hired on for anything. You will be. Bridgerton, what's your favorite season so far? I haven't ever watched it. Leah Seydoux is prepping for Luca Guadagnino's Separate Rooms along Josh O'Connor. So Josh O'Connor working with Luca Guadagnino for a second time. Again, when you find that pairing of actor-directors, it's good to have. All right, guys, it's a long weekend here, so this is a holiday here in Canada. I should probably go outside and relax. A24 has the rights for The Entertainment System is Down, starring Kirsten Dunst and Keanu Reeves, set on a long-haul flight where the entertainment systems fail and an eclectic group of international passengers are forced to face the horror of being bored. Okay, the horror of being bored. Wow. All right, guys, that's pretty much all the great headlines that we've got. Arglass says, great show. Catch for the updates. Catch you later. Back to black if you go and decide to go enjoy. Yeah, I'll probably go see it tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time right here on Mirror Domains.